Been meaning to do this one for a while. A friend of mine sent me a knife. It was an imported knife that he had obtained. I'm not going to say where from. This is said knife. Pretty, isn't it? That's one of mine. Been used for about a year so far in a commercial kitchen. Should we do a little comparison? Could be fun, couldn't it? Oh, should we do a thumbnail? Here we go, let's do a thumbnail. Oh, anyway, come on. Right, looks wise, I mean it's subjective. I think that this looks a prettier knife straight away. It looks like it's got more detail than mine, if I'm honest. Mine just looks a bit, well, it's used, it is used. So on looks, I'd say this one wins. But let's take a closer look, shall we? This lovely resin and wood handle it's got. It's got brass pins. It's got like a brass bolster and almost like a chrome, or maybe that's a stainless bolster. It's Damascus, but Samurai Damascus, is it? I suppose it would be. Now this is where things start to take a change for the worse, I'm afraid. If you notice, let's start with a blade. It's just printed. It's just etched. It's just like a laser etched. I don't know if you can see that very well. So be aware if you're going to buy one of these. Nothing wrong with the fact it's etched. I do mustard etches on mine. But just be aware that's not what it says it is, if that makes sense. I'll tell you what, let's just use this one. Right. This. It's not wood. It's not wood. As you can see. I don't even think it's see. I don't even think it's a resin, it's like a plastic. So you've got a plastic handle making out it's wood. Yeah, so the handle's just plastic, so's the wood. It's not wood, it's just a plastic, as you can see. Yeah, it's just all plastic. The pins aren't pins, they're just stuck on. Again, none of this is a major problem on its own, is it? Really, none of this is a game changer as such. Lots of handles are made. That's just a resin handle, so I understand that. So the handle's plastic, as we determined. This bolster is not what it seems to be. I'll find a blade on this. I'll give this one a good scratch. Yeah, so the bolster is metal. I'm guessing this is like a lacquered aluminium, I'm guessing. So again, be aware it's not what it says it is, but it's not a game changer, is it? Right, so moving on to the blade, we determined that this isn't real Damascus or forged welding or sandmine, whatever you want to call any of this. This is all just etched on it. You can feel it. And what's worrying me straight away is just quite how easily all this is scratching. So I think probably the next best thing is to do a little test on these two for hardness. So if we put these into the Rockwell hardness tester, we can see what they're like. Right, this is my lovely old, probably 1960s I think it is, Rockwell hardness tester. Wilson Rockwell hardness tester. And the whole idea is this: you put your blade on here by using the diamond. I'm not going to go through it all. I've done videos on this before, so have a look in the description, see if you can find it. And the whole idea is we test this to see how hard the blade is. So first thing we do, we need to preload it. And what I'll do, let's do it down towards the tip. It's going to be in a fairly flat area, but luckily this is a fairly flat grind. Oh, sorry if it's wobbling. Take it up to tension, and you're looking for a Rockwell hardness, probably around, I would have said minimum 60 really for a kitchen knife. And this is your Rockwell hardness here. Look, the C, you see it in black. Hopefully you can see it. It's not looking too good straight away because we're going straight back round. So I'm just letting this one settle, and I'll do another test. Right, that's settled. Bring it forward. Not good. Rockwell hardness of 51. This is not hard. Yeah, unfortunate. But what we can do, you can see almost by the indentation how far it's gone in. Pretty soft. We'll try one more. Let's just see if we can get. You want it to stop around here, really, if it's got any hardness to it. Right. So this is what we're running into here as a problem. We have a blade that's trying to look like an expensive blade. Just letting it settle. Even worse that time. So it's not hard. So what I'll do, we'll keep this one running. Oh, no, it's going to be a bit awkward because I don't want to be damaging the blade on this one. Because obviously this is a used knife, but we should be able to get it around there somewhere. Right, so that's just off the blade, but you'll get the idea. So off we go. So I've not stopped anything, not stopped the timer or the video, so you can see it. We want it to stop around about here if it's going to be hard, roughly. And I'm only going to do the one because I don't have to spend too long trying to take all the marks out again. And bearing in mind, this knife I made 18 months ago, before I had my proper heat treat system and everything. So there is going to be some possibility that it's inferior. I doubt it because it's holds such a good edge. Just letting it settle. And pull it off. And there you go. Now I know this one's about 0.58. So that's showing 62. So this is about 61 Rockwell. So there you go. Hard blade. Right, so what have we learned so far? We've learned that the handle is plastic, all of it, even though it's meant to look wood. Not a problem. I'd happily, but I still think it looks pretty. We've determined that the Damascus look of it isn't, it's just etched. But more worrying than anything, we've learned that it's not even hardened steel, it's just soft steel, which would probably explain why you can do this. You can see it bending it. Alright, obviously this is a thicker knife, I know. So, we can't harden this, which is unfortunate because it means it's not going to hold an edge. So I think really we're done, aren't we? But wouldn't be fun with it. So let's do some edge retention tests, shall we? So we'll start at as a base test. Sharp. Sharp. So they're both sharp. So then what we're going to do, we'll start off with some simple stuff like I don't know, chopping at some wood and stuff like that. So we'll do this again. Sharp. They're both sharp. Running in the pocket already. Still sharp. Now this isn't trying to prove how good my knives are, it's in about that. It's just to show you that you've got to be careful with what you're buying, because can you hear it all catching at it? Yeah, tearing, catching. Bit of brass. No, that's good. Go on. Ow. said was retailing at like 60 or 80 quid. Which for a kitchen knife that looks like that seems cheap, doesn't it? But hopefully I've just proved that sometimes buying cheap means you buy twice. They'll say buy cheap, buy twice. People often say to me, why are handmade knives so expensive? A good handmade knife. Why are handmade knives so expensive? Because a good one should last you a lifetime. And you should be able to beat the living daylights out of it within reason, and it will just keep performing. So, yeah, pleased with this one. Patinaed up, marked, useful. That is a pile of rubbish that should never, ever have seen the light of day. As a wall ornament, no, I wouldn't even say that. It's just a pile of rubbish. So now we're going to destroy it. Anyway, what was the purpose of this video? To basically just show you that by sometimes spending a little bit more cash or saving a little bit longer can be the best option. Now, not everyone wants to spend a lot of money on a knife, I understand that. But just be careful when you're spending reasonable amounts of money that you're not buying yourself something that maybe should be in one place only, the bin. Take care, everyone.